From Uccello's of Caledonia, I'm Rick Berkey, along with Zach Huter stepping in for Sparky McEwen tonight. And we've also got a very special guest. Quarterback Blake Daniels will join us on the show. And everyone happy to talk about Saturday's homecoming win over Northern Michigan, 18-13. We'll get that. We're here every Tuesday night. If you listen to us or watching us live on the various social media outlets, YouTube and Facebook Live, you can catch us here every Tuesday night at 7. And then also we re-record it and replay it. So if you listen to us on Saturday, that runs right up to the start of our broadcast this Saturday, Davenport at home, this Saturday against Wayne State. But Zach Huter, offensive coordinator, stepping in right now for the head coach, Sparky McEwen. Zach, thanks for joining us. Let's talk a little bit about the game. A big win, 18-13, a much-needed win, I think we can safely say.
Very much so. It was good to have Northern Michigan back at our place for a homecoming win. Dropped a few, and I think it was time. It was overdue.
You're coaching going on your 8th year. This has got to be a different twist for you as well as the players, in that you're playing teams twice. Once in non-conference, once. That's really unusual.
It's very unusual. It kind of gives you a unique perspective on the game plan process and keeping your players focused and understanding what needs to be done to win a football game.
One of the things, a little tidbit that kept Davenport perfect all time in homecoming games. Davenport's 5-0 in homecoming games. Hope you keep that up for a while. But more important, probably record-wise, it improved you to 1-1 in conference play.
Yep.
How do you measure that in terms of a win in conference versus a non-conference win? Do you put much weight in one or the other?
I think each week is its own entity, and every week, every game is just as important as the last one. We try to make sure that we're not paying close attention to conference, non-conference. Each week we want to make sure that we are going to take advantage of the opportunity we have at hand.
Unlike the previous week when you lost at Michigan Tech where you dominated the stats, just not on the scoreboard, this time a decided edge to the Panthers in perhaps the key possession that you meant, because not only you're offensive coordinator, but you're also offensive line coach and tight ends as well. This stat just jumps right out at you. You had 15 minutes of more possession than the Wildcats did, 37-22. That's huge.
We were shocked. I think as an offensive staff, we came in with a game plan to control the clock, control the ball, and we really didn't realize how much time we had the ball until after the game. We were blown away that we were able to hold the ball that long.
Is there a formula number in general you like to have, 6-7 minutes more, or does it just go game by game?
We want to make sure that we're controlling the clock 31-29 to give ourselves the opportunity and to make sure that we're giving our defense enough rest.
You mentioned the defense. You did give them enough rest, and they showed major improvement. 3 weeks ago when we played them up in Marquette, they had a significant edge in total offense. 402 yards they got against our defense up there. 201, exactly half. What a great turnaround for your D.
Our defensive staff did an outstanding job. Our defensive players came to play that day. They played intense and made sure that they were fixing any issues we had from the previous time playing. They did a great job.
Blake Daniels got the start at quarterback. He's going to join us a little bit, and he was very efficient. He had 303 total yards. That's a decent number, but perhaps just as importantly, Zach, it was almost split evenly, 163 in rushing and 142 in passing.
Blake did a great job. This got another start under his belt, was able to relax a little bit, got more comfortable in the run game and the pass game. I mean, he threw a great ball, and we're hoping that he's going to continue to improve and get better. Threw
a 17-yard touchdown pass to Monte Phillips, put it right there. He also should have had a second one. It was right there.
He did, yeah.
What do you do, offensive coordinator? Let's say you're coming off the field after that one where you had one right there, perfect. Everything was right, just didn't make the catch. What do you say to the guys on the sideline when you know that they earned one, but just one little element kept them from scoring?
We've got to focus on the next play. We've got to put the things behind us and focus on each play as its own separate life, 6 to 8 seconds at a time.
Zach comes to us actually coaching here the second stint around here. You had 1 year of, let's call it temporary insanity, where you left us and then came back. Yep. You went to Northwood, and but now again you've had a great resume already. Talk about a guy who started out at the top. Your first year as a graduate assistant after you got your undergrad and master's at Michigan State. You were grad assistant at MSU in 2013, is that correct?
Yep.
What a year to start out as a coach.
Yep.
They had 13 wins and went to the Rose Bowl. They were one of the 4 best teams. I think you finished number 3 in the nation there.
I think it was somewhere that high.
Yeah, what was the feeling right there as you got in and thinking, hey, this coaching thing's kind of easy here?
It was, I actually had my opportunity to start kind of getting a taste in coaching in 2012 after I medically disqualified from injuries. And, it was all about being able to stay connected to the players and hopefully guide them to be great fathers and husbands one day.
Prior to that injury, Zach, that forced you off the field of play, was there a point along the line where you thought, you know what, I might like to coach this game whenever I'm done, before you were injured?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I love the game of football. It's been good to me, and being able to stay within the game, there was always something in the back of my mind to be able to be a part of a team the rest of my life.
Then, of course, then you went to West Virginia for a while, where you played under a heck of a coach over there.
Yeah, Dana Holgerson. That was a fun year. Got to learn a new style of offense. Got to learn a new style of game planning, and to be a part of a different conference. Coach
Holgerson, known for his wide open attack offensively. Did that shape you in terms of how you approach what you'd like to do? Sometimes you can't, but what you'd like to do at least?
Absolutely. We, being able to have the heavy pro style from Michigan State and being able to have a mix of what we did at West Virginia, being able to open it up a little bit, I think has really shaped me, and trying to have a balanced attack and attack defenses in different ways.
That brings up an interesting philosophy. You have your own hopes and your ideals as far as what you'd like to do with your offense, but it's got to be shaped by the players you have.
Absolutely.
How do you balance that, saying we'd like to do this, but these guys do this better?
It's you really sit down and you've got a wide open playbook, and you look at what your guys can do and how you can help them attack things and put them in the right position. At the end of the day, the coaches coach, and the players have to be the ones to go out there and make the plays.
All right, this team has been, struggling offensively as far as getting points especially, but there were some encouraging signs Saturday in the win over Northern Michigan that some things are starting to click.
They're starting to. Our players do a great job. They come out to work every single day, and I think a play here, a couple inches there, we're looking at this thing a little bit different.
You got your bachelor's degree from MSU in 2012, and then a master's in kinesiology from that. You and your wife live in the Grand Rapids area.
Yep.
All right. What makes Davenport the place that you really like to be? Obviously, you were here, you contributed, you went away, and you came back. There had to be something that said, I like it there at DU.
It's the people. Flat out, it's the people. I got to work under Coach McEwen that first time around, and it just so happened I had the opportunity to come back, and I knew that I really enjoyed the staff. I enjoyed the administration here, and I think these people everyone does a great job here, and I think being a part of this family is something very important to me.
Well, Zach, we pulled you away from some of that great Uccello's food. We're going to let you get back to that, but we're going to come back a little bit later. We're going to talk about this week's opponent, Wayne State, Saturday. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Let's first take a break here. We'll come back with Blake Daniels, the quarterback who led the team to the win on Saturday afternoon. Stay with us as you are watching and listening to the Davenport Coaches Show, live from Uccello's in Caledonia, here on the Davenport Athletics Network and Magic 104.9.
West Michigan home buyers, if you're considering lenders, please contact Mario Flores at 231-638-0200 at Van Dyke Mortgage on the Lakeshore. It's a wonderful time to be in the market for a mortgage when you choose Van Dyke Mortgage on the Lakeshore. Van Dyke's loan experts know how to help you prepare and help you get approved. Don't wait for the market to be perfect. Start your planning with Mario Flores, branch manager at Van Dyke Mortgage on the Lakeshore.
Mario Flores, NMLS number 135862. Van Dyke Mortgage Corporation, Corp. NMLS number 3035. 231-638-0200. MarioFlores.VanDykeMortgage.com. Van Dyke Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
And we continue with the Davenport Coaches Show from Uccello's of Caledonia, backed beautifully by our digital duo, Awesome Abby and Dynamite Drew, making sure you're able to watch and hear us here. Special guest joins us right now, Blake Daniels, junior quarterback from Macomb, Michigan, went to L'Anse Creuse North High School, helped quarterback that win on Saturday. What was the difference in your opinion, Blake, as far as getting the W against a team that just 3 weeks earlier got the better of us?
The dynamic we brought forth as an offense, I believe we were attacking them at all angles we have available as an offense. Everyone performed well and executed their job as the coaches instructed us to do all week, and we had a good game plan and we went out and executed it.
How did you grade yourself Saturday, your own individual performance?
I believe I did pretty good on Saturday, enough obviously to get the win, but obviously there's always more in the tank left that I can accomplish and pull out on game day.
Tell me a little bit again, when I asked Coach Zach about that, when you threw earlier in the game a perfect ball for it was going to be a touchdown. We just didn't quite hang on to it, but that just happens, right?
Yeah. During the game, I actually missed a touchdown pass to Noah Benson, So it goes both ways, right? Yes.
Okay, all right, let's talk about now you didn't start the year as the starter, came off the bench. How do you keep yourself ready to go in whenever you're called upon, whether that's in the middle of the game or starting a game?
Definitely playing backup quarterback is probably one of the hardest jobs in football because your job every week is to prepare as if you were the starter. And every week I went to practice as if I was the starter, took my rep series as if I was the starter. So when my number was called, I was ready for the opportunity.
You threw for over 5,000 yards in your high school career at L'Anse Creuse North, and you played under Anthony Kiner. Tell us about how he influenced you as a player and maybe even as a person.
Coach Kiner really influenced me as a player because he allowed me to play my game. We threw the ball all over the yard in high school, and that's how I became confident as a passer and confident as a thrower in the game.
You're also an outstanding runner, Blake. One of the hardest things for a quarterback that is a dual threat like yourself is when you're on the edge on a pass play, pass run option, when to go, when to throw. How do you learn to make that right decision? What helps you, improve in that area?
Coaches do a really good job making sure we understand our read keys and stuff within the scheme. So on game day, we practice it every day. So on game day, it becomes almost second nature to know when to run, when to pass, and do certain things like that at my position, being a dual threat quarterback in this offense.
Blake Daniels, our quarterback, 6'6", as you can tell, and you've probably been tall most of your life, right?
Yes, sir.
Was there a point when you were playing football where someone said, you're that big, maybe you should be a receiver instead of a quarterback? Did that ever happen?
Yes. Unfortunately, during my recruiting process in high school, we lost a lot of games my senior year. And a lot of Big Ten schools that were originally recruiting me to play quarterback wanted me to move positions to tight end.
How did you handle that? How'd that conversation go?
The conversation went well. I understood that's what they were looking for, but that wasn't what I was looking for in terms of a home. And the coaches here at Davenport believed in my ability to play quarterback, so I decided to come here.
If they needed you, if all of a sudden we lost half of our wide receivers in a situation, do you think you could play receiver now still, or do you think that's something you're too far away from?
I've never really played receiver that much in the game, but if the coaches needed me to do it, I could do something.
Business administration major, and this young man is all academic, GLIAC all academic team last year and made academic excellence your previous year. What do you hope to do with that business administration degree when you're done with your Davenport days?
My grandfather owned 2 Ford franchise car dealerships, so I plan on eventually working my way up in that industry and owning my own one day.
What was it, Ford?
Ford.
So, Blake Daniels Ford, I can already see it up there, right?
Yeah, that's definitely a goal.
I can come and get a good deal from you, right?
Of course.
would you want to do it back on the east side where you're from, or is that something that maybe what if they said we need you to open up a dealership somewhere else?
I definitely prefer to leave Michigan once I finish school and everything. I think there's a lot of stuff in this world and in the country alone that you can see that isn't in Michigan.
Your parents, Bruce and Michelle, a big part of your life all along. Tell us what they've meant to you.
My mother, Michelle, is a very key influencer in my life. I look at her to tell me when I'm right or wrong. She stays on me, makes sure that I take care of all my business, and she's part of the reason that I'm successful the way I am today.
What do you do for your own enjoyment away from school, away from football?
I hang out with my friends, play video games, listen to music, watch football games.
Who are your roommates right now?
Lewis, Uccello, and Jaden Gardner.
Okay, so you got a wide receiver and a defensive back there?
Yeah.
All right, so who's the best video game player? I know what you're going to say, but I'm going to ask.
In terms of Call of Duty, definitely Lewis.
Lewis is, usually every time I ask a guy who's the best video, they say, I am. But Lewis is the best.
Lewis is the best Call of Duty player for sure.
What about any other game that you're best at?
Madden and 2K.
All right, fantastic. All right, let's talk about your individual improvement that you still need to make, Blake, as a quarterback. Where do you have to get better?
I definitely want to see my completion percentage get better within the games. I want to be 75% and up kind of guy, and take advantage of every opportunity defense gives me to score or strike.
All right, how about this team? Where does this team as a group have to get better?
As a team, as a group, definitely doing our jobs as individuals. And once we do that, we'll definitely be a problem.
All right, well, we wish you best, Blake. Again, let's go back. I think they just brought your food when I called you up here. I know you want to polish that off here at Uccello's. It's always a pleasure visiting with you, Blake. We look forward to big things for you down the road here with the Panthers, and keep working, and good things will happen.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on the show today.
Blake Daniels, quarterback who led the team to the win on Saturday on the offensive side. We'll take another break, come back with Zach Huter, talk about this Saturday's opponent. Wayne State Warriors come to town, second straight home game for Davenport, 12 noon kickoff at the Farmers Insurance Athletic Complex. Go to dupanthers.com for ticket information. Back with that after this.
West Michigan homebuyers, if you're considering lenders, please contact Mario Flores at 231-638-0200 at Van Dyke Mortgage on the Lakeshore. It's a wonderful time to be in the market for a mortgage when you choose Van Dyke Mortgage on the Lakeshore. Van Dyke's loan experts know how to help you prepare and help you get approved. Don't wait for the market to be perfect. Start your planning with Mario Flores, branch manager at Van Dyke Mortgage on the Lakeshore.
Mario Flores, NMLS number 135862. Van Dyke Mortgage Corporation, Corp. NMLS number 3035. 231-638-0200. MarioFlores.VanDykeMortgage.com. Van Dyke Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
And we continue the Davenport Coaches Show from Uccello's in Caledonia. I'm Rick Berkey. Offensive coordinator Zach Huter rejoins us right now to look ahead to this Saturday's game at home, and coming off a win that certainly got some momentum. We look at Wayne State right away, Zach. You know, you had a couple games earlier this year, and I know in particular that you realized you could have won, maybe should have won. Wayne State, boy, I'm telling you, this is a team looking for its first win. But they have had 4 losses by a touchdown or less, a couple of them by a field goal, and one in overtime. They've been right there knocking on the door almost every week.
Yeah, I mean, their win-loss record it does not do that team justice right now. It's an outstanding team, offense and defense. A great coaching staff that does a great job.
You know, they lost in overtime last Saturday to Michigan Tech, 30-27. Typical of how their season's gone. They're in it right to the end, but it just comes up a little bit short. And what determines those games? When you look at the games in general at the end of a season or going over previous seasons, when it comes down to one field goal or one touchdown at the end, what often is the difference between one team coming out on top and one team not?
You know, it's not. It doesn't seem like it always comes down to just that one play. It's little things that you find throughout the game that you say, we could have done this better, we could have done that better, we could have had a couple more yards here, and maybe we wouldn't be in that situation.
Zach, one of the things I know that you're going to be focusing on from a defensive standpoint this week is running back Myron Harris. Over 500 yards on the ground, about 7 yards a carry and 4 touchdowns. You guys a threat anytime he touches it.
He's an outstanding player. He's got a great offensive line in front of him. Actually, one of our former players here is a starting tackle for them, and they do a great job over there. That running back is very talented.
Quarterback Chase Churchill, he's thrown over 100 yards a game, but maybe the biggest passing threat that you've got to be focused on is wide receiver Travante Davis. Over 500 yards in receptions, a gaudy 20 yards per catch, and 4 touchdowns already.
He's an outstanding athlete.
What do you do to minimize him from it? I know you're on the offensive side, but from the defense, what are ways that you can minimize a guy with that kind of skill?
Making sure that your game plan, your defensive players understand what their offense is trying to do and how they're trying to attack you with their threats, and being able to make adjustments with personnel matchups.
2 years ago, we played Wayne State, and you were here with us, right, when they beat us 34-0?
I was not here.
You were gone at Northwood at that time, so we can't blame you for that one. But, let's talk about last year and the COVID situation and how it's different this year. Obviously, it's certainly it's a better situation. We've got fans in the stands and things. From a coaching standpoint, how do you feel the difference from last year?
Much different. I mean, I think our players are more engaged now. We're able to have that energy from the fans, being able to have fewer restrictions so that our players can play a little bit looser and not have to worry about so many things.
Zach, what do you do for personal enjoyment once the season? I know you're totally consumed during the season and a lot of preseason, but when you get away from the end of the season, maybe you got a couple months to just kind of back off and chill a little bit. What do you do for your own personal enjoyment in those days?
Well, I have 3-year-old triplets, so it's whatever they want to do.
End of question. 3-year-old triplets, my goodness. So I don't need to ask you about your spare time because there isn't any.
There isn't.
Now, of course, they're too young to go to the games, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but maybe next year?
I'm hoping next year. I mean, my wife does a great job with them. An amazing woman. And we're that's what we're talking about, is bringing them out to the game and letting them run around a little bit.
So, as a parent, going into it, you and your wife probably wanted kids, but you probably didn't plan on 3 of them coming at the same time.
No, it was the first one was a shock. So having 3 at once was a shock.
All right, what would you tell parents who've never had triplets or even twins about the additional challenges when you've got 3 the same age?
Have 0 expectations and roll with the punches.
That is great. Are they all the same sex? Or are they
2 girls and a boy.
Okay, so are they old enough to squabble yet with each other? Or
oh, yes.
over a particular piece of food, maybe?
Yeah, food, toys, whatever you can think of.
Well, that is great. I certainly enjoy having you here. And give us a couple of keys. We always ask Spark for a couple keys to beating Wayne State this week.
Got to take care of the football offensively. We've got to be able to do a better job of putting points on the board. We've got to play with outstanding effort.
All right. We appreciate Zach Huter for stepping in for Sparky this week, and best of luck to your offense and the whole team this week. Again, 12 noon Saturday, Wayne State Warriors. Davenport riding some momentum after that win last week. See if they can make it 2 in a row at home. Hope you can get out there. Go to dupanthers.com. We will be back here next Tuesday night at 7 if you're watching us live on our social media channels. But if you're listening to us live or listening to us right now, leading up to football, Davenport football's next. Davenport and Wayne State here on Magic 104.9. Thanks to Abby and Drew, and thanks for you for joining us. This is Rick Berkey saying so long from the Davenport Coaches Show, and Go Panthers.